Hey, what's up, family? Hey, today we're gonna do a relative video for a lot of y'all out there. We're gonna title this one, Cops in Your Neighborhood, right?
Yes.
Now, what I wanna do, and I wanna get straight to the point on this one here, because this has touched a lot of y'all out there. And what I'm talking about this here is that my opinion is, I feel as if my opinion should be every bit of a fact of what y'all should want in your community. And that is, if a cop is not from the community, he has no business being a cop of the community and so-called uplifting the so-called law in your community with such a prejudiced way and characteristic towards the community. Now, although this is a serious video, I love to give y'all a word of the day. And the word of the day is just that what I said, prejudice. The way a cop, he come to a community that he's not from, and he's dealing with the people in the community in such a prejudiced way. Now, if you look up the word prejudice, it means to basically pass judgment on something or someone without getting the facts right. But a lot of us have always grown up, when we hear the word prejudice, we're affiliated with some racist stuff. When it has nothing to do with racist, it means you passing judgment on something without getting your facts or being biased about something. So you get what I'm saying? So now back to the topic here. If a cop is not from the community, I don't think he has no business being a cop of the community. Because I've seen instances where cops will be in it'll be, let's say, a white cop from a whole different town and state, but he's a cop in this urban area over here. And when he's a cop over here, I've seen it. I've seen cops ride in the area and be mean mugging the people on the basketball court, the people coming out of school, the kids coming out of a school, kids. You mean mugging kids. I've seen these cops, even when they y'all know when you're driving and someone's doing construction on the road, and you see a cop, he's there. That's a premium day for him, meaning straight overtime day for him. I've even seen cops where it even happened to me, where I see a cop and I do what's come natural to me. I'm riding by, or I'm waiting for him to direct traffic to allow me to come by, and I just go, "Hey, how you doing, officer?" And he just give me this look like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, and see, those are cops. You got no business in this neighborhood. You're not from the community. And you got no business being in the community, policing and upholding the so-called law of the community. So that's why I titled this one, Cops in Your Neighborhood. Remember, this is just my opinion of what I believe, but I believe my opinion should be every bit of the fact of what you should want in your neighborhood. Matter of fact, I'll touch on some other stuff, you know, when I say cops in your neighborhood. Because when a cop is from your neighborhood, he knows how to handle the people better. He has a relationship with the people. Rather something good or bad is going on in the neighborhood, he handles it in such a professional, delicate, and mature way. Everything ain't always got to be, get on the ground and throw you up and all this crap and lock you up for every little thing. Everything, because see, he know how to handle it because he's from the community. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. When you say that, I think about when, like, it'll be little stuff that coincide with that. Like when I would ask, oh, why can't we have a house party? And you would say, your friends aren't going to come over here and they're not going to respect the house. You know what I mean? Because they don't live here. So they don't have to worry about, oh, if it gets messy, if it damages or anything. Because if the cops don't live in the area, they have no reason to respect you or treat you like you do live in their neighborhood. Now, because they don't have to come back to you.
That's a great topic, because when she first started it off, I was like, housewife, what this got to do with the cops? I was like, what the heck this guy? But that's a good analogy. These are people that come in your house, since it's not their house, not their community. These are normally people who throw trash, they tear your place up. We've seen movies, we've seen people in our family and friends that did that, had a party, and people from a whole nother town come and they tear it up because it's not their stuff. So actually, that was wonderful. I like that. That's a good spin on it. But it touches back with what we're talking about. That's great. That's why it's good to do this. By the way, we got a celebrity in the house today. It's my daughter. Hello. She ain't been in the videos in a while, but she went to the military.
Now.
Yeah, and she's back today. Love her.
Salute to you, Jada.
Yeah. So back to now. I'm gonna give you a little example of what I say. Cops from the community. I remember when I was a kid in elementary school in Elizabeth. I remember there was an officer. He used to come to our school at least once a month, every month, and we called him Officer Friendly. Now, obviously, that wasn't his real name. But we were little impressionable kids. And I remember this officer, he used to take time to talk to us in the auditorium. He would come to individual classes and ask us how we doing in school, how we doing out at home. He would take time to tell us about his job. He would take time to tell us that, hey, you guys could be a police officer when you get older. You could be a fireman. You know, you could be a lawyer. You could be a doctor. Everything ain't always lawyer, doctor. He has to take time to talk to us about what he does as an officer. And if someday he'd take the time to say, I want to show you around a police station. When we get a day where they allow that. See, he took time to know the community. This same officer made it his job even when we was not in school. I remember in elementary seeing him and on the street, 2 other kids getting a fight. He wasn't on some aggressive prejudice stuff, you know, judging something before you get the fact. He was just about, whoa, hey, boy, what you guys out here doing? Well, you know I know your mother. I know your father. I went to school with your father. What is y'all doing out here? And he would break that fight up, and everybody respected Officer Friendly. When he spoke, they was like, you know. And he said, no, you're going to explain me why y'all fight. And before you know it, he made them apologize. You know, May even took him to the store and got some candy. I've seen this happen because that was an officer of the community who cared about his community and wanted better for his community and understood that everything ain't always going to be peachy, creamy, and great. But when it do go awry, somebody got to be there to fix it. And that's what he was doing. I remember this same officer when I got older in middle school and high school, still interacting with him. Because he was from the community. Mm-hmm. He took time. When I seen him, it was nothing but respect. And he took time to still talk to me. And as I said, of course his name not Officer Friendly, but I watched that man get old as I got older. And I still had a great respect for this guy because he was from the community. He knew how to handle it. Now, let's get the flip side of that. Look at these. You thinking these affluent neighborhoods, or let's just straight up be straight here. In these white areas, these affluent neighborhoods, you think all the crime and stuff not going on out there, you're fooling yourself. Because I assure you, these kids, they are breaking into schools in these affluent neighborhoods. They are doing meth. They are doing marijuana. They are doing coke. They are doing all kind of crimes. They're setting up their own families to get right. I watched one video where one kid had his friends break into his grandfather's house because he had some money in the safe, and it turned real bad. It turned extremely bad, and he wound up killing the grandfather. This was a while ago. But all kind of crimes. But guess what? The white officer in that white town, when he goes to these areas where they broke into the store, they doing drugs, there's a good high probability that he just gets the kid and take him home. You see? Look how he handling that. But that'll be the same officer that comes in the urban area, and for something, a minor infraction, you want to lock a kid up for something so silly as, hey, give me your ID. Let me see your ID. What? I got an ID. Ready to lock him up. Mm-hmm. Something stupid. I remember you telling me some story about...
Yeah, so when I, at my old job, I was talking to one of my coworkers, and, you know, she told me this story very comfortably because I guess she thought that it wasn't a big deal and that I wouldn't take it any type of way. But she comfortably told me about a story about how she was at a party and with all her friends.
Mind you, so they got it clear. This is a white girl.
This is a white girl.
In a different type of
and all her
suburban
friends
area.
were white. And they were at a house party, and I guess they got a complaint for a noise complaint, and it was too loud. So the police officers, they were both 2 white male officers, they came to the house. And of course, they're lowering the music down, and everybody's nervous because they're all underage drinking in there. They're all my age, 18, 19 years old.
Legal already.
Because they were still in high school. So we were all 18, 19 years old. And the police officers came in, saw all the liquor that was laid out on the table, and they saw paraphernalia. So once they saw paraphernalia, at this point, they realized there's drugs in the house. And there was 2 white boys inside of the house that had book bags full of pills and marijuana. And when the police officers made him open the bag, you know, like, this kid's nervous because he knows what I have, and I know, like, I just know I'm going to jail. And the police officers shined the flashlight in there, and they discussed, I guess they talked about what was about to happen or what they were about to do. And they told them, they looked at all of them and they told them,
seen the drugs.
We'll be back in 2 minutes. None of this better be in here.
You see?
And they literally walked out. And, you know, this girl, you know, we were cool. So she's telling me like, yo, these police officers were cool. Like, they just let us off the hook.
See, that's how she looked at it.
That
cool.
in her eyes, that's how she saw it. And in my eyes, I just saw white privilege, and she didn't see that. She didn't see that. Oh, you know, if we were a bunch of black kids in here, that would not have gone down like that at all.
Nope.
At all. So,
minor infractions, they're not from the community, so therefore they're not going to be willing to be handle it in a mature way for the community. Now,
and you can't judge people that aren't educated on these things. So I didn't judge her, but it was definitely something that I looked at her different. Like, you didn't see nothing wrong with that. Like, you just looked at it like, yeah, we got away, we're good. But you know that even if a couple of us were in that room, it would not have gone down that way. She knew it wasn't right. And I guess that's why she felt like it was such an interesting story to tell me, because she knows stuff like that don't go that way for everybody else.
And she probably been through something like that often. And like you said, she just looked at it like, man, those officers was cool. But we don't get too many officers like that in the urban area. You know what I'm saying? I apologize. I shouldn't be eating this damn candy. I'm up here smacking. But anyway,
well, you know what's crazy?
I'm gonna get this out of my mouth. I can't even talk right. This is thick candy.
So one day, this happened last year actually. One day in high school, we walked into Spanish class and we all came in like a regular day. But this day, instead of learning Spanish, our teacher was asking us questions about police officers in our neighborhood. Just like that, right? So she asked us, she said, this morning we're going to start with a different lesson. It kind of threw us all off. We're like, what does that have to do with Spanish? But she asked us, she said, when I say police officer to you, you're going to tell me the first words that come to your mind. So we're all comfortable in class, so we're all talking and we're being honest. And they said words like kill, not protecting us, against us, bullies, all that was up
These
there.
are all the kids.
Little did we know, I don't know why we did not see, there was a police officer standing right in the back of the classroom.
How was his reaction?
Listening to all this. And this was a black officer. And the minute she was writing this, like, and you could tell she was a little hesitant, but right, because she didn't expect us to say these things and be so honest. And she said, well, we have a guest speaker in the back. We all turned around and there was a police officer. And you know, everybody was like, oh, you said that?
Yeah. Oh, we were running our mouths.
Yeah. And she's like, he's going to come up here and talk to you guys because he used to come to this school. He went here and he graduated here.
See,
and he came up there.
From the community.
And the first thing he said was, he introduced himself. He said, I just want to say these words on the board. That's crazy that y'all feel that way. He was like, because I just want to let y'all know and start by saying, I know what y'all see on the news, and I know y'all seeing a lot of stuff that's going on right now, but I just want to let y'all know that's not all of us. Because I'm from here, and I treat Rahway like I care about it. And he said that, and it just...
It touched you a little.
Yeah.
But, because you know, I'm going to tell you what happens with good officers like him. And I must say this, a black officer like him. It's like, he's the good officer around a bunch of beasts. And it's hard for him to maintain the character of who he is, because he was taught that you support and you protect the blue shield. Even when they doing dirt, you know, you don't rat on them. You stand up even when you know they wrong. And this is what he got to deal with. And then if he even dare do the right thing, and they want us to rat on each other and rat on others, but if he do the right thing and speak out about his fellow co-workers being wrong, prejudiced officers, he'd be in trouble. And that's actually happened throughout time. Whereas there's been officers, it was a black female officer spoke out in New York, even the one recently with the kid that got Eric Garner, that they got the superior black lady, they took 20 days off her vacation. What kind of punishment is that? But see, anything they do, when the good officer stands up, the rest of the department goes against them. Like, how dare you speak out against us? Look, I'm not being a jerk-off person. It's just what y'all doing is not right. And I'm a good, righteous person. But I'm a righteous person working amongst immoral people.
But yeah, I think that was a really good lesson, because we were able to be honest without even knowing he was back there. Because, you know, honesty is the best, because that way you can handle the situation straight on rather than people being scared to say how they want to feel.
In other words, what you're saying is, if she had let y'all know that the cop was there before the conversation started, everybody wouldn't have been honest. It wouldn't have been real.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's what made that wonderful. They didn't know, and everybody spoke out. You know, because like I just off the top of my head, we playing a game right now. if I say, what's the first thing come to your head when I say police cop?
Kill.
You know? It's a damn shame.
Yeah.
You know me, you say police cop to me, first thing I think, racist. White racist cop. That's the first thing came to my mind. Now there's some good Hispanic cops, there's some good black cops, there's some good white cops. Just the other day we had a cookout, 2 white officers came because the music got a little loud, which we don't normally do that. We had another guy doing the music and he was getting ridiculous. We had to tell, look, my man, it's getting late, you gotta tone it down. And he just kept raising. But the 2 officers came and they weren't bad. I came to the front and I said, hey, how you doing, officer? I said, look, I apologize. I know it's kind of loud. I said, I can either turn the music down or I understand it's late. I can turn it off as well. It's not a problem. And they said, yeah, sure, you know, because we've been getting a little disturbed. They had no attitude with them. To me, I would, for that little small interaction, those 2 white officers, I would say they weren't bad. Now, that was just for that little interaction. He did ask my name, my phone number, and all that. And you know, obviously your cousins and them, they was like, man, what do you ask your phone number for, man? And what they asked this and that. I just laughed and I said, nah, don't get too carried away with it. I said, you gotta understand, for all they know, I'm just some random guy y'all went in the back to say, come speak to them. They want to verify. You don't think they ran the address of the house and then the name that I gave them, they want to see that I'm really that guy. And that's all that really was.
Right.
But anything in closing, because remember, the title is Cops in Your Neighborhood. My opinion, as I said earlier, I'm being redundant here, is that my opinion is that if cops are not from your community, I think they have no business policing in your community. Because when they're policing in your community with a prejudiced way of thinking, it's not good for the community. So in closing, you have anything in closing you would like to say?
Other than that, they actually do teach us that in the military. We have things called police calls, and the thing is, you police your area.
Yes.
So like it'll be little stuff like after we eat, police your area, because you have to police your area. Like that's a big thing in the military. So I feel like that should be enforced here in civilian life as well.
Yeah.
Policing your own area rather than policing other people's area. You know what I mean? Because they'll be real quick to lock up anybody.
Yeah. Lock them up for having a camera out and policing them doing inappropriate stuff. Hey, get out of here! Get out of here! Hey, there's nothing happening here. You know how many times police try to provoke people? I'm gonna give you a most common thing police say, because this is training. Here's the most common thing a police will say to a person to provoke you. They say these simple words.
Are you resisting?
Well, that too. But they let's say you having a domestic dispute and they come there, because they're not coming there to be helpful. And now when you get there, you all pissed because she scratched your car up or scratched your face down. Here's a simple word they say to piss you off even more. Hey, first of all, Mr. Jones, calm down. First of all, calm down. Right. You're like, don't tell me to calm down. Don't tell me to calm down. This is how you get. And now they be like, hey. All right, buddy. And it's like, see, that somebody tell you that, you instantly fly off the handle. But that's how they train to make you fly off the handle. So in closing, what I would say to a lot of you people out there, it goes back to the statement I said earlier. It's my opinion that if cops are not from your community, they have no business policing in your community. Now, you can do different things opposed to going out and voting for the president of the United States. Vote locally for the police chief in your neighborhood. You know, stuff like that. Be a part of your community. Find out who is the police captain. Find out who's the mayor. Get to know your mayor. You can speak to your mayor. Don't be afraid to do so. You can do these things. You know, find out what's going on in your community. You know, be a part of your community. You know, and on that note, you know, like I said, as always, try to put some positive stuff out there for you guys. Hopefully this touched on a lot of things, which I know it has, that you guys are familiar with. And so I would say subscribe, share, like, and comment. And look forward to other positive videos that we put out there. Because as I always say, it's easy to do negative videos. That's too easy. We like to do positive videos or videos to make you think. Remember, the word of the day was?
Prejudice.
Prejudice. Meaning to judge something or someone without getting your facts right or being biased about something. And on that note, peace, family.